Hi family, welcome to the OrahSUNSHINE Channel. My name is Orah, and I'm glad that you stopped by. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and like. We upload videos all the time, but today I want to talk to you about intuition and gut instinct. That is a resource that we have. All of us have that, but a lot of times we don't tap into it. We struggle, we go through our day-to-day worries and concerns, but we don't tap into our gut instinct. Our gut instinct can tell us to go left when we want to go right. Our gut instinct can help us to manifest our dreams if we just pay attention. Sometimes we just need to quiet our minds, get still, and focus. I was inspired to write a book, and it's called The Oracle of Personal Wisdom. You'll see it right here. The Oracle of Personal Wisdom is a book that actually helps you to get in touch with your intuition and your gut instinct, and many people are benefiting from that book. It's available on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description below so that you can see where else you can pick it up, like on our website, Personal Awareness, which is called positiveawarenessjourney.com. But when you hold this book in your hand and you focus on an issue or concern that's really important to you, your intuition is going to take you to the core, the fundamental core of what's happening with that issue. It's going to help you to move in the direction that you want to go into. So we don't have to fumble around and struggle when we have a resource that you were given, which is your gut instinct or your intuition. So when you get a chance, you can buy the copy from Amazon or pick it up from us and start using it regularly to help you make your decisions, to help you to manifest your goals. But right now, I want to have some other people share what their thoughts and concerns are about intuition. So enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You know, I am a very intuitive guy. You are a very intuitive person. We are all very intuitive. It's just that most people don't know how to utilize that power effectively or for their own benefit. I do. And I don't use it, I'm not good at it by accident, I'm good at it by design. When I realized that intuition was one of my higher faculties, we have perception, the will, reason, imagination, memory, and intuition. When I realized that this was a mental faculty that I could strengthen, I made up my mind I would. I have since come to the conclusion intuition is God's way of talking to you. That's right. God being the supreme power, that which is. It's through your intuition that you pick up vibration. Now think of this. When you come up with a question, bang, like that, the answer is with it. You can't have a question without an answer. I think Webster said there's a question without an answer. It's called a rhetorical question. That's a statement. That's not a question. Every question has an answer. Every question. When you ask the question, the answer comes with it. It's our intuitive mind that will pick that up. Now that's what we want to really try and understand. Now the question always is, how do you develop your intuition? Well, I often tell people in a seminar, every person has an aura or an energy around them, and you can learn to feel that energy. As you start talking to them and they carry on a conversation with you, really you can feel the energy that's coming from them. Now, how do you do that? By focusing all of your attention on them. Now, that may be hard to do, because until we really get comfortable with ourselves, we're wondering, what do they think of me? Now, think about it. If you really want to win in life, whenever you're talking to somebody, give them your undivided attention. And if you do that, you're going to start to feel things. You'll start to feel their energy. If there's a shift in their mood like that, you'll know it. That's your intuition. Now, that's how you develop your intuition. And you're giving them your undivided attention. Say, what am I feeling? And start to get used to, what do you feel? Not what do you hear, what do you feel? Really listen to them. Listen carefully. Now, you hear with your ears, but you listen with your emotions. You've got to let yourself get very emotionally involved in what they're saying. You'll feel it. When you go into a restaurant, sometimes you'll sit down and you're waiting and you don't really like it. Waiter or waitress comes over and they'll say, "Can I help you?" You may say, "I'll have a cup of coffee, please." You really don't want to stay there, so you didn't want to order a meal. You get the coffee, you pay for it, and you leave. You don't even drink the coffee. Why? You didn't feel good in that restaurant, and you didn't want to stay there. Sometimes you go into a clothes store, and there's something you just don't feel right there. You're not going to buy anything, get out. You're not in harmony with the energy. If a person's upset about something and they have a smile on their face and talking to you, you know there's something wrong. It's your intuition that picks that up. It's your intuition that picked up the energy in the clothes store or in the restaurant. That's intuition. Pay attention to what's going on around you. What do you feel? Feeling is the language of the subjective mind. Intuition picks up feeling. Feeling is vibration. It's tuned into vibration. And it'll always there, and you got to get used to and good at using it, and you can.
What's helped me is to also realize that your intuition is speaking to you. Your intuition is speaking to you if you realize that there are no accidents or coincidences in this universe. Everything is happening in divine order. And I started to realize this, that look, there are no coincidences, there are no accidents. And if you start to realize, okay, it's all starting to make sense. You're starting to connect the dots and say, whoa, that, like, what are the chances? What are the chances of that happening? And it does happen. Once again, that is your intuition speaking to you, because intuition speaks to you through patterns. Let me repeat that. Intuition speaks to you through patterns. Now, this is probably one of my favorite ways to really see if it's my intuition speaking or I'm just tripping. Now, get what I call an intuition diary. Now, what you're gonna do, and this is what I do sometimes, is like, or you can even make a mental note of it. That's what I do as well. Now, write down every time you are right about something. Write down every time you are right about something and your intuition has served you, is proved out to be so true. Now, write down what you were feeling before you found out it was true. So your intuition diary would be like, I was thinking this person had great vibes, and then you write, when you meet them, they did have great vibes, and I was feeling, I got like 50 butterflies in my stomach, so that's a sign my intuition is working. So the more you repeat that, you got a record of how you feel every time your intuition has proven to be right. Slow motion this side. And the beauty of having an intuition diary is that sometimes you can also write every time you've been wrong when you felt your intuition was right. And it's going to be like this. I don't trust this person. I don't trust them. The whole world's against me. This situation is going to get so worse. And then you find out you just win the lottery and you're like, I was so wrong. Or you find out that this person is so cool and so amazing. And then you're like, the feeling I got was because I was so in my ego, maybe I was a little bit stressed. And you're going to find out every time your intuition has been wrong based on how you are feeling. And also every time your intuition has been right based on how you're feeling. And that's what I call, baby, the intuition diary, to really see if your intuition is speaking to you. Or you're having a laugh. And then you just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? There are no accidents or coincidences in this universe. Everything is happening in divine order. Let's just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. We are here. Have a beautiful day. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay healthy. Peace.
One of my very favorite words that was invented by a man who was a great teacher of mine. His name was Carl Jung. He called it synchronicity. And it's a term that reflects sort of a place where you can get to in your life where you can have a collaboration with fate almost, where you can begin to see things showing up into your life just because you were thinking them. And for some of us who are very practical minded, we think, well, that's absolutely impossible. All of these things are just coincidences. But the word coincidence is an interesting word. In mathematics, coincidence refers to angles that coincide. And in mathematics, two angles that coincide are said to be two angles that fit together perfectly. And we have taken a term that means things that fit together perfectly and assume that somehow it's all done accidentally. But in the universe in which there is an intelligence guiding everything, there are no accidents. One of my favorite ways of describing this, I did with a friend of mine years ago on some tapes. His name was Deepak Chopra. And Deepak and I were in front of an audience in London. And we all of a sudden started dialoguing about how to get strawberry ice cream. And we came up with there were 4 ways to get strawberry ice cream. And they raised in level and consciousness from the lowest to the highest. So the first way of getting strawberry ice cream is to have a thought. Everything always starts with our thoughts. And the thought is, gee, I'd really like to have some strawberry ice cream. And then you act upon that thought. You get up, you get on your bicycle, you get into your car, you go for a walk, you go to the store, you purchase your strawberry ice cream, and you come home and you say, I've got strawberry ice cream. And we don't think that that's too amazing. But if you really look at it, it is very amazing because that thought is invisible, it's formless, it's internal someplace. We know there's a command center in our brain, but we've never seen the commander that's in there who says, I think I'd like to have some strawberry ice cream. So it's a pretty amazing process. Have a thought and then act upon it. The second way to get strawberry ice cream is to have a thought, gee, I'd really like to have some strawberry ice cream, and you stay right where you are. And you send one of your children off to get the strawberry ice cream. And this is a higher level of consciousness because here you are just sitting there having a thought and you just express a word and someone else goes off, gets the strawberry ice cream, brings it back to you, and you think, this isn't too bad a way of doing it. The third way we talked about on stage was the more intriguing way. And the third way to get strawberry ice cream is to have a thought, gee, I'd really like to have some strawberry ice cream. And then someone walks by and they say to you, excuse me, is this your strawberry ice cream? And when that happens, you go, whoa, booga, booga, booga. And you call everybody that you know and you tell them, you can't believe what happened today. I was just thinking about having some strawberry ice cream, and a stranger just walked by, and there it was, and he handed it to me. This is what Jung called synchronicity. And this idea that you have a thought, perhaps it's a thought about a sister that you haven't talked to in 5 years, and she lives on the other side of the country, and you can't get her out of your mind. And that thought represents an energy. And that energy says, gee, I'd really like to talk to my sister, but I haven't talked to her in a long time. And all of a sudden the telephone rings, and there's a feeling in here. And that feeling says, gee, I bet you that's my sister. And you pick it up, and sure enough, that's her. That's her calling you. And you think everybody that's out there has these kinds of experiences. You have a thought about something. I can remember one time having a thought about getting my screen doors fixed. And I had been given a hard time at home about get your screen doors fixed. And I just hate fixing screen doors. And I was driving down the freeway, and I looked to my left, and passing me was a truck that said, we will fix your screen doors. And I thought, this is synchronicity in work. And I followed that truck, and I got his number, and I called him, and I had the screen doors fixed before I even got home that evening through a telephone call. And we often think these kinds of things that we call synchronicity, or we call sort of a serendipity or a collaboration with fate, that they're accidental. But there's no accidents in this universe. Every thought that you have is a thought that is an energy. And that energy, when it is sent out, connects to something else. And everything in this universe is connected. Every tree that you see in this scene right here, every single bug that's out there, all of the thoughts that you have, all of the human beings. There's a philosophy that says that a butterfly flows his wings in New York, that it affects the winds in Tokyo, all around the world. So that's synchronicity. But there's a fourth way of getting strawberry ice cream, and that's the way that I dream about and think about. It's called unity consciousness. And this is where you have a thought, gee, I'd really like to have some strawberry ice cream. And you manifest it. In the scriptures, this is called the gift of fish and loaves, that you live at such a high level of consciousness that whatever it is you place your attention on shows up, and you become the creator or the co-creator of your life. But those are the four ways of getting strawberry ice cream. The first is quite easy. You have a thought, and you go out and get it. The second is you have a thought, and someone else does it for you. That third one, called synchronicity, that's one in which you can begin to see that when you have a thought, you have the power to attract into your life what you're thinking about, even though you may not be consciously aware of it. You can literally negotiate the presence of what you place your attention on. And ultimately, even the least among you can do all that I have done, and even greater things. And this means that we all have that capacity to have the gift of fish and loaves in our lives, or to manifest what we would like.
Many people from all different spectrums of industry fields and different periods of time throughout history have spoken about intuition, whether it be Oprah or Ralph Waldo Emerson or even Aristotle and many, many others. And it's interesting to mention that Aristotle was trained by Plato, and Plato was trained by Socrates. Now, Socrates was an incredible influence on Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs even stated that he would trade all of his technology for an afternoon with Socrates, and he wasn't joking. And you may not be aware of Steve Jobs' thoughts on intuition. For example, he stated, intuition is a very powerful thing, more powerful than intellect in my opinion, which is exactly what Einstein and Tesla said themselves. He also stated, much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. In one last quote by him, he said, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Here's another quote by Nikola Tesla. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists.
I acknowledge my desire to enhance my intuition, and I ask that I now be shown signs regularly about what steps to take, and you can have a specific thing in mind. And I ask for this with divine love according to the Creator's will. Then you take a breath in. This brings the petition into your body, and you hold it in your nose. So like that, 4 seconds, and then you pulse it out through your nose. And then I generally will close my eyes. I set 2 minutes on my iPhone as a timer. And I close my eyes, and then I just pay attention to thoughts, feeling, images that arise as I do this. I also do a lot of healings this way and pay attention to the thoughts, the images. I'll often get a soundtrack, and then that over time, you do that day after day after day, and themes start in. Dreams are another way. I write down my dreams every morning that I can remember them. They have the same themes over and over. Things come to you in dreams long before they come to you in real life. The main thing with developing your intuition is the desire to develop your intuition. Then you'll start to see really interesting things.
Well, that's it for today, folks. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Look forward to seeing you again. Stop by, and remember, subscribe and like. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.